afternoon. Wait a sec, got to get ready. Hey, it is Saudi.
What do you think about the president?
Hey, let me think about that. What do you think about the president's decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement? Trump said, well, I think it's going to be very good for the United States, very, very good for the world. Was that to your liking? Next command, please.
What do you think about Obama?
Hey, let me think about that. What do you think about Obama's decision to not be there for our people? This is not about politics. This is about national security. This is about the safety of our people. This is about the safety of... Was that to your liking? Next command, please.
What do you think about COVID?
Hey, let me think about that. What do you think about COVID 1944 giant ball of light? Bar end of text bar, please enable JavaScript to watch this video. Salt Lake City, a Utah State University student is in critical condition after he was shot. Was that to your liking?
No.
Next command, please.
Okay. Bye. Stop.
Bye, have a great day.
Okay, well, hopefully this is actually recording. So I got the main thing that I coded here. This is a modification of somebody else's tutorial I'm gonna show you, but first I wanted to show you what I actually contributed and a little bit of insight on basically how to how I designed the voice interface and gotchas about that. But first, I should configure my Emacs to be a bit bigger. Actually, it's probably better this way. So these are the speech recognition system I'm using, and also the text-to-speech engine, or voice synthesis. It's also known as that. PyTTASX3 uses the underlying NS object speech synthesis system to be also speech synthesis has, I think, been in the Mac OS operating system at least for the last, like, Mac OS 9, maybe even, yeah, because 8 or 9, it's you can actually rely on this API hasn't changed. I don't know exactly how to make Siri say this or the Siri voice to say this, but yeah, this is just a placeholder, anyways. Call my virtual assistant Sati, which is a manga reference. So read more manga. This was from their tutorial too, where we just take the current hour and just tell you what they specifically say something. So you can actually see exactly, like, if it's 0 to 12, it says good morning, good afternoon, good evening. And basically, talk is the method that's part of the speech synthesis system. And then it basically, the engine, this basically loops until you either kill the process or tell it to exit. But I'm gonna give you a link to the tutorial to get more into that. This is what I wanted to add BERT as a question and answer system, but that's for much longer talk that will be outside the scope of what we're doing now. But this I add. So first you want to know if the thing loads. So we're using 774M, which is the third largest, or like, of the GPT-2 text synthesis system, which is an attention-based deep learning model released by OpenAI. And when I say that, when I have this said, I want to know if it successfully loaded GPT-2 and started the session. And this means that it at least created the session. And then it says hello here, because here I want to know, this actually takes a while, and you can see it in the demo, but it's an easier way to not only give feedback to the user, but also to know what's happening in general as debugging. This is going to be, this is right now, it's like sort of hot loaded or whatever. Now, not hot loaded, but it will load when you start the script, but you have to wait. Now, obviously, systems like Alexa and others, that this is like a vast simplification where, either this would be either a long running process, or I would separate this out into like a task queue, but yeah, that's more for the future. Now, here's what I added. So there's a GPT-2 library called GPT-2 Simple. GPT-2 Simple is mainly used here. So basically, how this system works is it gets a command, and then it does this. It says it's listening to the terminal. It says it attempts to recognize your input. They actually had en-in, which is, I presume, the original user had. So I actually changed this to enus. I changed this line to enus. So yeah, I didn't think it made much of a difference, but yeah. So this is actually using Google's recognition engine, which doesn't even need API keys, and then it's printing it out to terminal. You can actually, I think you can change this, and this is the speech recognition library that I'm using. So first, it gets the command from given command when it says it's listening, puts it in lowercase, probably. I don't know if I should even do this. So after that, I mean, these shortcuts are what the original tutorial had. It even says know how to do email, but don't know how to do that. This is where you can abort the system to make it stop talking. Sort of like stop, I would say, if you had an Alexa. But anyways, we're really looking at this line. So this is the part of the system where it will take the information when I said, if I do poem small talk or the phrase, what do you think? It will autocomplete me the input by just passing the input to the above function. And when we do that, it's here. We go back to here. And then this, what this function does is it queries, this is not a refined or model. I'm using 7.5. I'm using a pre-built model already. And I mean, the most interesting hyperparameters here are these. Length is how many words it will generate. Temperature is some kind of measure of like randomness, entropy or whatever in the resulting thing. The top samples and batch size, I set those to 1 for efficiency reasons, and I do return list is true. I'm not sure what top P does. I think it has to do with I thought that's top K too, but anyways, it returns a Python list, and I put it in this function, and then I call the talk function, and then it says it, and then it goes here to what was that you're liking, and then I want to add a feedback question there, but yeah, that's it. So that's basically how to add voice recognition to off-the-shelf GPT model. At this point, what I might do next is add Sati as somehow figure out how to add it as like a wake word or to like a custom like Raspberry Pi setup, or I might just have it as is right now. So yeah, and yeah, just